Winning a word that stirs something deep inside every one of us. From childhood to adulthood, we're taught to win the race, win the prize, win the heart, win the game of life. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what does winning really mean? Is it just about standing first, being praised, or having more than others? The truth is, winning isn't about defeating others, it's about conquering yourself. It's about rising every time life throws you down. It's about keeping your fire alive, even when the world turns cold. And most importantly, it's about becoming someone you're truly proud of, even if no one else is watching. There's an art to winning. And like any great art, it takes time, practice, and deep understanding. Some people think winners are born, but the real winners, they are built day by day, thought by thought, habit by habit. And guess what? You have that power in you too. Maybe you've failed a few times. Maybe people laughed at your dreams. Maybe you've started but never finished. That doesn't make you a loser. That makes you human. What makes you a winner is your decision to keep going, keep learning, and keep growing. In this journey, we'll walk through 10 powerful steps, not just tips, but truths that shape the mindset, the heart, and the actions of true winners. These are not theories from a textbook. These are lessons carved out from real struggles, real setbacks, and real victories. So if you've ever felt stuck, tired, unnoticed, or underestimated, this is your moment. This video is not just about success, it's about transformation. It's about learning how to win from the inside out. Because once you learn the art of winning, life will never be the same again. Step 1. Define what winning means to you. Most people say they want to win. They talk about success, dream about achievements, and chase after recognition. But here's the thing. Most people miss they don't actually know what winning means to them. And if you don't know what your version of winning looks like, how will you ever know if you've reached it? Think about it. Society has a way of defining winning for us. It says, get good grades, get a good job, earn lots of money, own a house, be popular, get married, and retire rich. But what if you're not chasing those things? What if your version of winning is different? What if peace means more to you than money? What if freedom matters more than fame? You see, the first step to becoming a real winner is to get brutally honest with yourself. Not with what others want from you, not what your parents expect, not what social media glorifies, but what you truly want in your heart. Winning isn't a race where everyone runs in the same direction. It's a journey where you set your own path and walk it with full intention. Ask yourself what makes you feel alive. What makes you feel proud when no one's watching? What does your dream day look like? Who do you want to become when all the noise is gone? These questions matter because they reveal what winning truly means to you. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two friends. One of them wants to become a millionaire entrepreneur and build an empire. The other wants to live in a small cabin near the woods, writing books and enjoying quiet mornings. Can both be winners? Absolutely, because they're chasing their own version of success. But when we don't define winning for ourselves, we fall into a dangerous trap. We start comparing. We look at someone else's highlight reel and feel like we're losing. We think we're behind in life just because someone else is ahead, in a different race. That's not just unfair, that's toxic. And that mindset will keep you feeling like a failure even when you're actually growing. Winners don't compare. They define. They don't copy someone else's map. They draw their own. That's what gives them power. That's what gives them clarity. That's what gives them peace. And here's the truth. When you define what winning means to you, life becomes lighter. Decisions become easier. You stop wasting energy trying to impress people who don't matter. You stop chasing things that leave you empty. You start living with purpose, direction, and deep confidence. Let's say your version of winning is raising a happy family. That's beautiful. Then you don't need to feel bad about not owning a luxury car. Or maybe your version of winning is traveling the world, one country at a time. Then don't let anyone make you feel guilty about not settling down in one place. You're allowed to choose your definition. You're allowed to walk your path. The world will always have opinions, but only you have the right to define your victory. Remember, winning is not one size fits all. It's personal, it's emotional, it's spiritual. And the sooner you define it for yourself, the sooner you can start chasing the life that's truly meant for you. So pause for a moment. Forget everything you've been told about success. Forget the pressure, the noise, the fear, and ask yourself one honest question. What does winning really mean to me? When you find that answer, you won't just start winning, you'll start living. Step 2. Build a winner's mindset. Every achievement begins with the mind. Before you win in the outside world, you have to win in your inner world. That's where everything starts. And that's why building a winner's mindset is the second most important step in the art of winning. Because no matter how talented, smart, or skilled you are, if your mindset is weak, life will always find a way to pull you back. A winner's mindset isn't just about thinking positively, it's about thinking powerfully. It's about training your brain to handle pressure, to stay focused, and to bounce back from failures. It's about seeing challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. You have to teach your mind to fight when everything inside you wants to give up. That's what separates a winner from the rest. Many people believe winners are born, but that's not true. Winners are made, one thought at a time, one belief at a time, one choice at a time. You have to create that mindset brick by brick, and it all starts with self-talk. How do you talk to yourself when things go wrong? Do you beat yourself up or lift yourself up? Do you say, "I can't," or do you say, "I'll try again"? Your thoughts shape your reality. If you constantly think you're not good enough, you'll act like you're not good enough. But if you believe you have the power to improve, you'll take actions that move you forward. A winner doesn't wait for proof. A winner starts with belief. And that belief creates the proof. Let's look at an example. Think about someone like Michael Jordan. Do you think he never failed? He missed thousands of shots. He lost games. But what made him one of the greatest wasn't just talent. It was the way he responded to failure. He used failure as fuel. He believed in himself even when others didn't. That's the winner's mindset. Winners also know how to handle fear. Fear is natural. Everyone feels it. But while average people run away from fear, winners face it. They walk through it. They know fear is just a signal. It means you're about to do something important. And instead of letting it paralyze them, they let it push them. Another key part of a winning mindset is focus. The mind is always distracted. Notifications, opinions, doubts, noise. But winners train their focus like a muscle. They say no to things that don't matter so they can say yes to what does. They protect their attention because they know that where focus goes, energy flows. And let's not forget about resilience. Life will knock you down. People will reject you. Your plans will fall apart. But the winner's mindset says, it's okay. I'll rise again. That kind of mental toughness is not built in one day. It comes from going through hard times and choosing not to break. A winner also stays hungry. Even after success, they don't get lazy. They don't rest too long. They stay sharp. They stay curious. They keep learning, keep pushing, keep growing. Because they know the game isn't over. Life keeps moving, and so should they. But most importantly, a winner takes responsibility. They don't blame others. They don't make excuses. They own their choices, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, because they know that only when you take full control of your life can you fully shape your destiny. So if you want to win, start with your mind. Feed it good thoughts. Challenge your limits. Break your own doubts. And remember, winning starts long before the results show. It starts the moment you believe in your power to rise. Train your mind to think like a winner, and your life will follow. The body may get tired, the path may get rough, but a strong mindset? That never quits. Step 3. Set clear, bold goals. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever get there? This is one of the most powerful truths about success that most people ignore. They wake up, go through the motions, react to life, and wonder why they're not winning. But real winners don't live like that. They move with direction. They act with purpose. They set goals that are so clear, they can almost touch them. Setting goals is not just about writing a list or making a wish. It's about making a commitment to your future. It's about declaring to yourself and to the world, this is what I want, and I'm willing to work for it. Goals are the roadmap of a winner's journey. Without them, even your best efforts can feel like they're going nowhere. But not just any goals. Winners set bold goals. Goals that scare them a little. Goals that stretch them. Goals that challenge the limits they once believed were fixed. Because comfort never creates champions. If your goals feel too easy, they're probably not strong enough to take you anywhere new. A clear goal answers 3 questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? And when will I achieve it? When you know these answers, your brain starts working with you, not against you. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You start making decisions that move you forward instead of keeping you stuck. Many people fail not because they're lazy, but because their goals are fuzzy. They say things like, I want to be successful, or I want to be rich. But what does that even mean? How much success? In what field? By when? Without clarity, those goals become dreams without deadlines. And dreams without deadlines rarely come true. Let's say someone sets a goal like this. I want to start my own online business that earns at least $5,000 a month within the next 12 months. That's clear. That's specific. That's measurable. And that's how winners think. They know exactly what they're chasing, and they create a plan to get there. And it's not just about big long-term goals. Short-term goals matter too. Winners break down big goals into smaller steps. They track their progress. They celebrate small wins. They build momentum, because every big victory is just a series of small wins stacked together. But here's another important part. Your goals need to be meaningful. Don't just set goals because they sound good or because someone else wants that for you. Set goals that light you up inside. Goals that connect to your values. Because when your goal is connected to something you truly care about, you'll fight harder for it. You'll keep going even when it's tough. Sometimes your goal will seem far away. You might feel behind. That's okay. A winner doesn't panic. A winner adjusts. If the plan doesn't work, they change the strategy, not the goal. Flexibility is part of the process. The road may bend, but the direction stays the same. Also, winners protect their goals. They don't share their biggest dreams with small-minded people. They guard their vision. They stay focused. Because they understand that not everyone will see what they see. And that's okay. It's not their dream to carry. Another key habit: winners write down their goals, not once, again and again. Daily if possible. It programs the brain. It reminds you. It sharpens your focus. It makes your goal more real, more alive. Writing makes it stick. At the end of the day, setting clear and bold goals is not just about achieving success. It's about becoming the kind of person who does, someone who plans, someone who acts, someone who follows through. So ask yourself now, what do you truly want? Not what sounds nice, not what others expect, but what you want to create in your life. Get clear, get bold, get serious. Because the person with a clear goal will always run faster than the person with a general dream. Step 5. Stay consistent, not perfect. Everyone wants to be great. Everyone wants results. But very few people are willing to show up every single day and do the work. The truth is, greatness doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being consistent. Real winners don't wait for the perfect mood, the perfect plan, or the perfect timing. They act even when things are not ideal. They know success is not about flashes of brilliance. It's about steady progress over time. The problem with perfection is that it's an illusion. It slows people down. It creates pressure. It makes them afraid to start, afraid to fail, afraid to look foolish. And in trying to be perfect, they often end up doing nothing at all. That's why winners let go of perfection. They choose consistency instead. They focus on showing up, not showing off. Imagine someone who wants to get in shape. If they wait until they feel motivated every day, they'll never build the habit. But if they commit to exercising even on bad days, just 20 minutes, just a walk, just something, they start creating momentum. That momentum builds discipline, and that discipline brings results. Consistency is powerful because it compounds. A little progress every day may not feel exciting, but over time it creates massive transformation. Like drops of water wearing down a stone, your daily actions shape your future in ways you can't always see in the moment. But keep going, and one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Let's take another example. A writer who writes just 1 page a day ends up with a 365-page book by the end of the year. It may not seem like much day to day, but the key is showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one's watching. That's what winners do. They stay committed. Consistency also builds trust with yourself. When you follow through on your promises, You start believing in your own word. You feel stronger. You feel more in control. And that inner belief is what drives outer success. Winners don't need motivation every day. They rely on systems, routines, and habits that keep them going. Sometimes consistency means doing something even when you're not seeing results right away. It means trusting the process. Winners know that success is often invisible for a long time. The seed doesn't grow the moment you plant it, but water it every day, and it eventually breaks through the ground. It's also important to realize that consistency doesn't mean doing everything perfectly. Winners allow room for mistakes. They understand that life happens, plans fail, and setbacks are part of the journey. But they always come back. They reset. They recommit. Because they know missing one day is okay, but quitting is not. Winners also make it easier to stay consistent by removing friction. They prepare the night before. They keep their goals visible. They track their habits. They build an environment that supports their vision. Instead of relying on willpower, they rely on systems, and that's what helps them stay on track even when motivation fades. Most importantly, consistency creates identity. The more you do something, the more you become the kind of person who does it. If you write every day, you become a writer. If you show up at the gym every morning, you become someone who values health. Your repeated actions shape who you are. So let go of the pressure to be perfect. That's not what winning looks like. Winning looks like effort. It looks like discipline. It looks like small steps, repeated day after day after day. Be consistent, even when it's not glamorous, even when no one is cheering, even when you feel like nothing's changing. Because in the end, it's not about how perfectly you can perform, it's about how consistently you can keep showing up. Step 6. Discipline over motivation. Motivation feels good. It's exciting, inspiring, and gives you a rush of energy to start something new. But motivation is also temporary. It fades. It comes and goes, depending on your mood, your environment, or how tough your day was. And that's exactly why winners don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Because discipline stays when motivation runs out. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when your bed is warm. It's working on your goals when your friends are out having fun. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. That's not easy, but that's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. People often wait for the perfect moment to act. I'll start when I feel ready. But winners know that waiting for motivation is a trap. You don't need to feel like doing something to actually do it. You just need to start. And the funny thing is, once you begin, the motivation often follows. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. At first, it's hard. You'll feel resistance. You'll hear voices in your head telling you to quit, to delay, to rest. But every time you push through, even for a few minutes, you're building something powerful inside you, something that won't break when life gets tough. Think about successful athletes, writers, artists, or entrepreneurs. Do you think they felt motivated every day? Of course not. They had lazy days. They had doubts. But they still showed up. They had routines. They had structure. And they respected their goals enough to stay disciplined, especially when it was inconvenient. Discipline also builds trust in yourself. It tells your mind, I can count on me. That self-trust is a game changer. It gives you confidence. It gives you pride. It turns you into someone who follows through, someone who doesn't just dream but delivers. One way to build discipline is to start small. Don't try to change everything overnight. Choose one habit, one commitment, and stick to it daily, no matter what. Over time, it becomes part of who you are. And when discipline becomes your identity, success becomes your lifestyle. Let's be honest. There will be days when you want to quit, days when nothing seems to work, days when motivation is nowhere to be found. That's when discipline shows its true power. It holds you up. It keeps you moving. It whispers, just one more rep, just one more hour. Just keep going. In the end, motivation may inspire you to start, but only discipline can carry you to the finish line. So don't wait for the perfect feeling. Create a perfect habit. Let your actions lead, and your emotions will follow. Because the ones who win are not always the most talented, the most excited, or the most gifted. They're the ones who are disciplined enough to keep going when no one's watching. Step 7. Master emotional control. Let's be honest. Emotions are powerful. They can lift you up, make you feel alive, and help you connect deeply with others. But they can also tear you down, cloud your judgment, and push you into making decisions you'll regret. That's why mastering emotional control is not just a skill, it's a superpower. People who know how to manage their emotions instead of being managed by them are the ones who rise above the noise. They stay calm in chaos, make wise decisions under pressure, and influence others in meaningful ways. Now, emotional control doesn't mean you suppress your feelings or pretend to be a robot. It means you learn how to respond to situations instead of reacting blindly. You learn how to pause, reflect, and then act. And this makes a huge difference in every area of your life, from relationships to career success. Let's break this down with a scenario. Imagine you're in a meeting and someone criticizes your idea in front of everyone. Your first emotional reaction might be anger, embarrassment, or defensiveness. If you let that reaction take control, you might snap back, argue, or shut down. But if you've trained yourself to control your emotions, you'll take a deep breath, stay composed, and respond with clarity. Thanks for the feedback. Can you help me understand what part you disagree with? That one moment of control changes everything. You protect your dignity, maintain respect, and often you gain more influence just by staying calm. So how do you develop this kind of emotional strength? Start by practicing awareness. Most of us don't even realize when our emotions are taking over. We react before we think. But once you start noticing your emotional triggers, like certain words, people, or situations, you begin to take your power back. Awareness is the first step to control. Next, build the habit of pausing. When you feel strong emotion, don't respond right away. Count to 5. Breathe. Walk away for a minute if you have to. That tiny space between stimulus and response, that's where emotional control is born. It gives your logical brain time to catch up and guide your reaction. Also, learn to label your emotions. When you can name what you're feeling, whether it's frustration, jealousy, anxiety, or sadness, you reduce its intensity. You gain clarity. And once you understand what you're really feeling, you can decide what to do with it. You might journal about it, talk it out with someone, or just sit quietly until it passes. This is what emotionally intelligent people do. Another powerful tool is reframing. This means changing the way you see a situation so it doesn't overwhelm you emotionally. For example, if someone ignores your message, instead of assuming they're upset or disrespecting you, you can reframe it as, maybe they're just busy, or I'll give it time. Reframing helps you stay calm and balanced, even when things don't go as expected. Physical habits also affect your emotional control. If you're not getting enough sleep, if you're constantly stressed, if your body is tense, it's much harder to manage your emotions. That's why regular exercise, deep breathing, and rest are not just good for your body. They're tools for emotional mastery. Finally, practice empathy. When you try to understand what others are feeling, even the ones who trigger you, you become more emotionally grounded. You stop taking things personally and start seeing situations more clearly. And that makes you more influential, more respected, and more trusted. Think about the most admired leaders, speakers, or mentors you know. What makes them stand out? It's not just their talent, it's their emotional strength. They don't break under pressure. They don't lash out when challenged. They listen, process, and lead with clarity and calm. That's emotional control in action, and it's something you can develop too. So the next time someone tests your patience, the next time life throws an unexpected challenge at you, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what's the wisest response I can give right now? In that moment, you're not just avoiding a mistake. You're building character. You're becoming someone others can count on. And most importantly, you're gaining control over the most powerful thing in your life, your emotions. Because when you master emotional control, you don't just react to life, you shape it. Step 8. Learn from other winners. If you want to become a winner, one of the smartest things you can do is learn from those who already are. Winners leave clues. They've walked the road you're trying to walk. They've made mistakes, found solutions, and achieved success. Instead of starting from zero and learning only from your own experience, why not shortcut your journey by observing and applying what others have already figured out? Think about it. Every successful person, whether in business, sports, or personal development, has faced challenges just like you. They've had to fight laziness, fear, self-doubt, and failure, but they made it through. And by studying them, you get access to their lessons without having to suffer every single one yourself. That's the magic of learning from others. It's like having a map when you're lost in the forest. It doesn't guarantee you won't face obstacles, but it gives you direction. One of the best ways to learn from winners is through books. Most successful people read a lot. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. These people all credit reading as one of the keys to their success. When you read a book written by someone successful, you're stepping into their mind. You're learning how they think, how they solve problems, and how they keep going, even when things get tough. It's one of the most powerful ways to grow, without even leaving your room. Another powerful method is watching interviews or documentaries of winners. Platforms like YouTube are full of free content where successful people share their stories. You'll often hear them talk about their failures more than their victories. That's because they know failure teaches more. You start to realize that Even the people you admire most were once where you are now, confused, scared, or struggling. But they didn't stop. And if they can keep going, so can you. Mentorship is another gold mine. If you're lucky enough to find a mentor, someone who's already walked the path you want to walk, hold on tight. A mentor can give you feedback, warn you about mistakes, and help you grow faster than you would on your own. Even if you don't know someone personally, you can adopt someone as a virtual mentor. Follow them online, read their blogs, watch their videos, study their routines. Observe what works and what doesn't. Learning from winners also helps you develop the right mindset. You start to notice patterns. Almost every winner talks about discipline, hard work, and consistency. They don't rely on luck or talent alone. They build habits. They stay focused. And they don't let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. That's a key difference between winners and those who quit early. You'll also notice that successful people don't play the victim. They take responsibility. When they mess up, they don't point fingers. They own it, learn from it, and move forward. This is a powerful trait to adopt. If you always blame others or your circumstances, you'll never change. Winners take control, even when things are unfair. They believe that it's still their job to win anyway. One underrated thing you learn from winners is how to think long-term. Most unsuccessful people want fast results. They want the shortcut. But winners think in years, not just days or weeks. They're patient. They build slowly, knowing that real success takes time. And the more you study them, the more patient and focused you become. Let's not forget the inspiration factor. When you feel down, when your motivation dips, when you question if it's all worth it, just listen to the story of someone who made it. Their words, their passion, their resilience will remind you why you started. Sometimes all it takes is hearing one powerful quote or story to light your fire again. So, if you want to win, make it a habit to learn from winners every single day. Read 10 pages of a good book. Watch a 10-minute motivational video. Listen to a podcast on your way to work or school. Surround yourself with the energy of growth and success. Because what you surround yourself with, you slowly become. In short, don't try to do it all alone. Let others lift you up with their wisdom. Let their experiences shape your path. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be open, observant, and willing to grow. Winners aren't magical people. They're ordinary people who did extraordinary things because they were willing to learn. So start learning, and soon others will be learning from you. Step 9. Eliminate distractions. One of the biggest reasons people fail to reach their full potential is not because they lack talent, intelligence, or even motivation, but because they are constantly distracted. Distractions are silent killers of success. They eat up your time, scatter your focus, and leave you drained without even realizing it. If you truly want to be someone who rises above the average and becomes exceptional, you need to eliminate the distractions that are silently stealing your greatness. Let's be honest, distractions are everywhere. Social media notifications, endless scrolling on your phone, gossip, negative people, unnecessary arguments, mindless entertainment. All these things may feel small in the moment, but they add up. 1 minute becomes 10, 10 becomes an hour, and before you know it, the day is gone. You might tell yourself, it's just a little break. But those little breaks steal your progress. They prevent you from building momentum. They interrupt your mental flow. And most dangerously, they train your brain to seek comfort instead of growth. To win big in life, you have to get serious about protecting your time and attention. Your focus is your superpower. Every time you allow yourself to be pulled away by a notification or a drama-filled conversation, you are weakening that superpower. You're making it harder for yourself to stay consistent, to think deeply, and to build the kind of life you dream about. You can't build an empire while watching random videos for hours every night. You can't become mentally strong while constantly comparing yourself to others online. It doesn't work like that. So how do you eliminate distractions? Start by becoming aware of them. Notice what steals your time every day. Keep a journal if you have to. Track how much time you spend on your phone, how often you check your messages, and how often you interrupt your own flow by multitasking. Once you've identified the distractions, start cutting them out. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room when you're working. Set specific times for checking social media instead of letting it control your whole day. But it's not just digital distractions that matter. People can be distractions too. Some people drain your energy with their negativity, gossip, or drama. If you're serious about success, you need to limit your time around such people. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, not those who pull you down. Be intentional with your circle. Your environment shapes your energy, and your energy shapes your results. Another hidden distraction is mental clutter. Sometimes we're not distracted by outside things. We're distracted by our own thoughts. Worry, regret, self-doubt, fear. All these emotions can keep your mind busy and unfocused. To clear this internal noise, practice mindfulness. Meditate, journal. Go for a walk in silence. Give your brain space to breathe. The clearer your mind, the sharper your focus. Discipline plays a huge role here too. You won't always feel like staying focused. Your brain will crave quick dopamine hits. But that's exactly why discipline is your ally. Train yourself to delay gratification. Reward yourself after completing a task, not before. Teach your mind to value depth over distraction. When you work, really work. When you rest, truly rest. But don't mix the two. Remember, the most successful people in the world are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who focus the most. They protect their time like it's gold because they understand that time is the one thing they can never get back. You don't need more time. You need fewer distractions. If you can eliminate the things that waste your energy, you'll be shocked at how much progress you can make with the same 24 hours. So today, make a decision. Choose clarity over noise. Choose purpose over pleasure. Choose focus over fantasy. Eliminate the distractions, and you'll unlock a level of success you never thought possible. Step 10. Finish what you start. Starting something new is easy. We all have moments when excitement and motivation rush in, pushing us to begin fresh projects, set new goals, or change our habits. But the real challenge? It's finishing what you start. Finishing is where most people give up. They start strong but lose focus. The initial excitement fades. Distractions creep in. And suddenly, the goal that once seemed so important feels overwhelming or boring. The truth is, without finishing, nothing changes. Dreams remain dreams, ideas stay incomplete, and potential stays unrealized. But here's the secret of winners. They finish. No matter how hard, no matter how slow, no matter how uncomfortable. They understand that the finish line isn't just a place, it's a mindset. Finishing means you're committed. It means you respect yourself enough to see things through. And with every finish, your confidence grows, your self-trust deepens, and your power multiplies. Think about the projects or habits you've completed in the past. How did finishing those make you feel? Proud, stronger, unstoppable. That feeling is fuel. It's proof that you can be trusted with your own goals. Every finish line crossed rewires your brain for success, making the next finish easier than the last. You don't need to be perfect to finish. Waiting for perfection often becomes an excuse to delay or quit. Progress over perfection. That's the mindset that moves mountains. Sometimes done is better than perfect. So push past your doubts, release the fear of failure, and keep going. Finishing also means resisting distractions and excuses. It means showing up on days when you don't feel motivated. It means saying no to short-term pleasures that steal your focus. It means understanding that greatness is built with small, consistent actions repeated daily until they add up to extraordinary results. Remember, the world rewards those who finish, not those who only start. Intentions don't pay the bills, actions do. Half-done tasks don't build legacies. Completed work does. Your success depends on your ability to keep going when others give up. So as you move forward in your journey, make this your unbreakable rule. Finish what you start. No matter the obstacles, no matter the doubts, no matter how long it takes. Finish because that's how winners are made. Finish because every finish line is a new beginning. Finish because your future self will thank you. Your story deserves a powerful ending. Don't just be a starter. Be a finisher. And when you finish, you win. Thank you for joining this journey. Keep pushing forward. Your victory is waiting at the finish line.